करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi, 12th chapter, and we are looking at the Vishyananda, all the Ananda that you get outside from the objective that everybody is running around. So this is the major population is going around for the happiness outside, and the question student ask is, how can we turn them in so that they can recognize that there is no happiness outside and there is happiness is coming from self-realization. And the teacher says you can only teach them if they are interested, and those who are interested, you have to go through the analysis of there is no happiness outside. Everyone is looking for happiness, but there is no happiness outside. So in order to get what you are looking for, you have to turn yourself towards the self, because that is the greatest happiness and that's the greatest love for anything else. So that is the theme of this, based on the Maitreyi Brahmanam of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now we discuss Shloka 18. Nanu priyatamatvena paramanandatatmani vivektum sakyataameva vinayogena kim bhavet. Together, nanu priyatamatvena paramanandatatmani vivektum sakyataameva vinayogena kim bhavet. So here another question now is being asked, and this is the question that remains until the end of this chapter, and the real answer will be taken up in the next chapter. But here the question is, Nanu means we have an objection. See, whenever Nanu comes is a Purvapaksha, or it can be doubt from the student. So Priyatam eva atvena paramananda atmani. So if that is the nature of Paraman, supreme Ananda, and therefore supreme love for an object, Vivektum sakyatam eva yogena vina kim bhaved. So I can understand that through yogic practice that was discussed in the last chapter, where the mind leaves all the thoughts and only contemplate on that Aham Brahmasmi, on that, and establish in the mind in that without any thoughts present. Therefore, absence of thoughts, where I am absent, mind without the thoughts is being in the samadhi, that is yoga, and therefore yogena I can understand because there are no thoughts to disturb it. But vivektum sakyatameva, how can by discriminative intellect, viveka here is nitya anistha vastu viveka. So in every thought there are two parts. One is I am, and this part. So idam vrutti, aham thought. So in that I am and this thought, because I am conscious of this thought. So when I say pot, this is a pot. That's a one thought. So I know this is a pot. So knower thought is also a conscious entity thought coming spontaneously with every thought. This is what is called perceptuality condition in the Vedanta Paribhasha. So consciousness is coming in every thought, but also thought is required without that. So if there is no thoughts and I have yoga vritti, nirodha, so if there is a absence of the thought and the mind, that is itself is required for a yogi to recognize I am. So there is a later we will discuss about whether the Nirvikalpa Samadhi itself is a means for knowledge or not. It is a knowledge mixed with, after knowledge you can have Nirvikalpa Samadhi, but without the knowledge, if you go in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you have a quiet and ignorant mind only. This is Swami Dayananda talks about it. But here we are talking about here the student is convinced that yoga is required, but how can Viveka gives you same happiness with the thoughts coming in? The thoughts are going to be disturbance. How can there be Ananda with the thoughts? So that's the question here. Vivektum sakyatam eva vina yogena kim bhave. So vina yogena, how can they, by discriminative analysis, by thinking, how can I reach that which is beyond the thoughts? This is a lot of people have this question. So you have to go objectless awareness. People talk about it. So that what is that state of mind where there is no objects but only pure consciousness? Is that possible also? Says you can reach is this conclusion that you will come here. Yajyogena tadeveti yajyogena tadeveti vadamo jnana siddhaye yoga prokto vivekena jnanam kim nopajayate together yajyogena yajyogena tadeveti vadamo jnana siddhaye yoga prokto vivekena jnanam kim nopajayate. So yat yogena tat eva, whatever that one can achieve with yoga, tat eva, that alone can also be achieved by viveka. So who says that? Iti vadamaha, this is what we say. So vadamaha means this is what we say, because this is what the scripture also says. So jnana siddhaye, one can gain by the jnana. Here jnana is aparoksha jnanam, that is immediate direct knowledge that I am that through vritti also. So yoga proktaha, by the yoga of the means is declared. So vivekana jnanam, the same also can be gained by discriminative intellect, by shifting attention to that which is eternal from leaving the ephemeral. Both are occurring together. So Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha viditam matam. It is revealed in every thought. So in every thought there are two aspects. One is a thought, another is a consciousness. Because consciousness of the thought. By shifting my attention to the consciousness in the conscious of every thought, I can recognize which is eternal and that which is the rejecting which is ephemeral, and that's how the Viveka is. Viveka requires a Shraddha and all that. And Jnanam, the one can gain the knowledge of I am that, by not only I am conscious, that is consciousness is there, but I am that consciousness, and consciousness is infinite. All that has to be supported by the knowledge. And Kim na upajayate. So the rhetorical answer is that why can't it be by through Viveka also? So here the teacher says that same thing can be gained by according to we say, and why not? And that's how the answer is given there. 82. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate iti smrutim palaikatvam yoginancha vivekinam. So together, yas sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate iti smrutam palaikatvam yoginancha vivekinam. So sankhya yas sthanam prapyate, whatever the goal one can reach by viveka. Sankhya here is stand for analysis. And tataipi yogaihi gamyate iti yoginam. Same thing is what a yogi can reach by the gamyati, goal of yoga also. So yoginam, by the yogis, whatever yogis can reach by sankhya, that same thing can be reached by analysis also, by the mind, using the thoughts to go beyond the thoughts. So it's not absence of the mind as in the yoga, Even yoga also, there is no absence of the mind, because the object has to be there to reflect. So it is thoughtless mind only is there. I am looking at the thoughtless mind as an object to recognize the pure consciousness, just as in the deep sleep stage, and that's how the last chapter ended. So in the same way one can do in the yoga also, by analysis also. So palaikatvam, oneness of the goal, smrutam, is declared in the smruti. That means not in the Shruti, but in the Smruti. That means in the Bhagavad Gita, this has been declared. So next sloka. So both can be achieved. 83. Asadhya kasyachid yogaha, asadhya kasyachid yogaha, kasyachid jnana nischayaha, kasyachid jnana nischayaha, ittam vicharya margodvo, ittam vicharya margodvo, jagada parameshwaraha, jagadan asadhya kasyachid yogaha, kasyachid jnana nischayaha, ittam vicharya margodvo, jagada parameshwaraha, kasyachid. So for some, yogaha asadhyaha, so yoga is not possible for some, and they can go to jnana marga. And kasyachidu, for some other, jnana nischayaha, the discrimination of the intellect for what is right may not be possible, and for them they go to yoga. So two paths as though is provided, and ittam, in that way, vicharya, so having thought of Parameshwaraha do marge, two paths, jagada, he declared. So Ishvara, Bhagavad Gita, in the Lord Krishna declared that there are two paths. Those who are not possible to do by the vichara, he can go to yoga. Those who cannot do yoga can do vichara. So both paths are being specified depending upon the capability of the student, and therefore both can be used for gaining the knowledge. However, both requires the purity of the mind. This is being emphasized in the next sloka. Yogo koti sayastetra, yogo koti sayastetra, jnana muktim samandvayoho, jnana muktim samandvayoho, ragadveshadya bhavascha, ragadveshada bhavascha, tulyo yogi vivekino, tulyo yogi vivekino. Together, yogo koti sayastetra, jnana muktim samandvayoho, ragadveshadya bhavascha, tulyo yogo vivekino. So dvayoho, there are two paths. One is path of yoga and path of jnana. So dvayoho of the two, jnanam samam yuktam, the final state of is the samam, same, whether it's a yoga or whether it's a jnanam. So atra, in these two, te for yogikaha kaha atisayaha. So path of yogi is what specifically is what is reached by both. So whatever reached by the yoga that has been described is the same thing can be reached by the jnana marga. So the goal, the end point is the same. However, ragadveshadi abhavascha tulyaha yogi vivekinaha. For both yogi and viveka, for both one who is in the path of yoga and one who is path of jnana marga, for both of them what is common starting point is ragadveshadi abhavascha. So the raga, likes and dislikes, have to be neutralized for both of them. So that is a starting point for both. One can go after removing the raga dveshas in the yoga path or a jnana path. So the perfection of the mind is the purity of the mind is required for both of them. That's the emphasis here. Napritirishvayameshvasti, napritirvishayeshvasti, premanatmeti janataha, premanatmeti janataha. Kuto roga kuto dveshaha, kuto raga kuto dveshaha, pradikulyam apasyataha, pradikulyam apasyataha, na pritirhi vishayeshvasti, priyamatmeti jnanataha, kuto ragaha kuto dveshaha, pradikulyam apasyataha. So how is the observation of raga and dvesha for one who is in the state of understanding? One is a jnani, one is a mumukshu or jiva nukta. How does he feel the ragas and dvesha, the likes and dislikes? What happens to them? So the question that was posed says Atma Priyan iti janataha. So one who knows that self is the most supreme, so self is extremely dear to those who knows, Vishayeshu for the worldly objects when I am encountering, after gaining understanding, in the case of a jnani, after understanding, so what happens to him when he transacts with the world? So he is still dealing with the world because he is not in the yogic state. He has to come down and transact with the world. So how does he, what happens to the raga and dvesha when he encounters the vishayeshu, the worldly object? Pritihi nasti ragaha kutaha. So there is no love for any object, and how can there be ragam? Because he doesn't love, what he loves is himself, therefore there is no love for any object. So ragaha kutaha, where is the attachment for any objects? Pratikulyam apasyati. So there is no one who does not see any opposite also. Dveshaha kutaha, the dislike also, neither he likes or dislikes. Ragat dveshaha. So vishayam vivartante. So the no more likes and dislikes, it will be essentially neutral, but bodily he may have likes and dislikes from the body point, but he doesn't have it. So one has to be careful because body is used to a particular prarabdha. So a jnani who has grown up in an environment of a vegetarian or a spicy food and so on and so forth, when he encounters after jnanam, what does he do? Of course, when there is a buffet, he goes only looks at whatever the spicy food because the body appreciates that only. So likes and dislikes at the body level is the same for both yogi and the jnani also, when yogi comes and contracts with the world. So that's what is the theme is going to be. The next sloka, Deha dehe pratikuleshu, Deha dehe pratikuleshu, Dveshastulyo dvayorapi, Deshastulyo dvayorapi, Dvesham kurvanna yogi, Dvesham kurvanna yogi, Cheda vivekyaspi tadrushaha, Cheda vivekyapi tadrushaha. Together, Deha dehe pratikuleshu, Dveshastulyo dvayorapi, Dvesham kurvanna yogi, Se na vivekyapi tadrushaha. So, whether likes and dislikes are common for when we transacting the world because of the prarabdha karma. So, both yogi and jnani, when transacting in the world, they will have the bodily problems may still at the body, mind and intellect level, but they don't have themselves. They will be reveling in that. So, deha dehi pratikuleshu, for the body that is unfavorable for the body, dvesha dislike, dvayohapi for both of them, tulyaha common. So, for both the dislike for the body level is there. It's same. Desham Purvan, practicing dislike na yogi is not yogi. Tadrushaha aviveka api, similarly, no viveka also. So dislike is common for both at body level. If the dislike at the body level is a criteria for not being a yogi, the same applies for the jnani also. So if one says he doesn't like it or he likes these things and he doesn't like it, and if that is a criteria to determine whether it is yogi or not, then same applies to jnani also, because they both are common at the transaction level. 87. Dvaitasya pratibhanantu Dvaitasya pratibhanantu Vyavahare dvayoho samam Vyavahare dvayoho samam Samadhau neti chetadvat Samadhau neti chetadvat Na advaitatva vivekinaha Na advaitatva vivekinaha. So together, Dvaitasya pratibhanam tu Vyavahare dvayo samam Samadho neti chetadvat Nadvaitatva vivekinaha. So Vyavahara in the transactional world, Dvaitasya pratibhanam. So experience of any duality is to Dvayoho, for both of them, for a Bhogi as well as Jnani. Samadho, in the Samadhi for Yogi, na iti chet. If you say in the Samadhi it's not there, but when he comes back, he is not there. When the Jnani is reveling in that, he is also not there. So Advaitattva Vivekanaha, for the one who is contemplating on the Advaitic truth when the mind is reveling in that, Satmarati, then everything is, he has no disinterest in terms of what is what. He is in that level. When he transacting in the world, both are essentially the same. That's essentially. 88. Vivakshati tadasmabhihi Vivakshati tadasmabhihi Advaitananda namake Adhyayehi Trutiyetaha Sarvamapyati Mangalam together. Vivakshate tadasmabhihi Advaitananda namake Adhyayehi Trutiyetaha Sarvamapyati Mangalam. So asmabhihi, by us, tat, the absence of the experience of duality, and Advaitananda namake, and also the one which is Advaitananda, one which is of the nature of essential, that Advaita Ananda. We will discuss that in the Trutiya Adhyaya, in the next chapter. We called it, this is Trutiya Brahmananda, from the point of Brahmananda, a book. This is a Trutiya. From the point of Panchadasi, it will be 13th chapter. And Trutiya Adhyaya, in the 3rd chapter, Vivakshate, it will be dealt with. Adaha, therefore, Sarvam api, whatever is discussed so far, Adi Mangalam, is fully acceptable so far. About the next topic, we will discuss more about the Ananda that one gets either by yoga or by the Jnana. Together 89. Sada pasyan nijanandam apasyan nikilam jagat arthad yogi iti chetarhi santushto vardatam bhavan together. Sada pasyan nijanandam apasyan nikilam jagat arthad yogi chetarhi santushto vardatam bhavan. Here this Vidyaranya talks about the student who is not convinced about the equality of the yogic path versus the Viveka. So here the teacher says, Nijanandam, bliss of the self, Sada Pasyan, the one who experiences, say Nikilam Jagatu, the whole world, Apasyan, not clearly is visible for that yogi. And Ardha is reality of the yogi, if you think Itiche Tarhi, in that case, that you can only get absence of the whole world is only happiness of the realization. A lot of people have misconceptions. Once you have realized that you do not see the world, you are in the yogic state all the time. If that is your understanding, Arthat is Itichet Tarhi, in that case, Bhavan, my dear, Santushtaha Vardatam, may you be happy with that notion only, because we are going to discuss that until next chapter. May you be happy. Here he leaves the student who is not convinced about it. So you be happy with that, at least yogic state you can reach, and we'll discuss about Advaita Ananda by Jnana also in the next chapter. Sloka 90, the last one. Brahmanandabhide Grandhi Brahmanandabhide Grandhi Mandanugraha Siddhaye Dvitiyadhyaya etasmin Atmanando Vivechitaha together Brahmanandabhide Grandhi Mandanugraha Siddhaye Dvitiyadhyaya etasmin Atmanando Vivechitaha. So Brahmananda Bide Grandhi in this textbook called Brahmananda Abhida Grandham, in this book called Brahmananda, etasmin in this Dvitiya Adhyaye, this is 12th chapter or second chapter in the Brahmananda and 12th chapter in the Panchadasi text, because Brahmananda has been added to the Panchadasi to make it 15. So Atmananda Dvitiya Adhyaye in the chapter, Atmananda bliss of the self, Manda Anugraham Siddhaye, for the blessing of the Manda, the people who are not highly sattvic, has been discussed. Vivechitaha has been discussed, because the student wanted to know what happens to the person who is not interested in the highest knowledge and going around. How can we help them? If they are jignasu, then we can teach him that there is no happiness out there, turn inwards. So convince him by logic and experience and the Shruti that there is no happiness out there. He is looking for happiness only, and he is looking for where it is not there. He is not going to get what he is looking for, and he has to invest his time in where he can get it. That's the whole idea of this whole chapter. And the next chapter we are talking about Atmananda. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi